Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Hi. We're shooting or filming podcasts in the morning sometimes, so if we ever seem like we're a little sleepy, we're just trying to start
It's because
our
we're
day.
sleepy.
Oh, so sleepy.
Accurate.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's the same thing when we film at the end of the day when we're like brain dead.
I'm always
but it's
sleepy.
different sleepy. Like morning is delirious sleepy, and at the end of the day, it's just like can't English sleepy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I have no eyes. You know, when you're like, I feel like I can't like open my eyes enough. Sorry that you guys had to see that. Hello. Here we are.
What tangents are we going on today,
I
friends?
don't know. You wanted to have a mom pod, but then my
I feel like I'm upstaging you when I do this.
You're
upstage me.
hijacking.
Ups my natural.
Upstage me. You want
Very
me-
good posture.
I have terrible
Ange's-
posture. I do. No, this is me trying. Normally, I'm like this.
Okay, but if I sit
I'm
up
like
like
Mr.
this,
Burns.
I feel like my head might not be in the frame. Is my head in the frame?
Looks very forced.
Oh shit!
Doesn't it? I know.
Yeah, well, it's just from working all day. We were all like hunched over and
We sit like shrimp.
Yeah.
like shrimp. Nice.
Shrimp.
But it's like getting like worse.
Yeah, do that. Have you guys heard about Neuralink?
No.
What?
No.
Okay, so the first
What word did you say?
Neuralink.
Like neuro, like brain?
Neuralink, yeah. So,
Neuralink.
Yeah, the first human, they put in, I think, 7 or 9 of these strands that are thinner than a hair into a quadriplegic's brain. And it basically communicates and understands what the brain is trying to send to his body, but his body, because of his brain injury, is unable to make the movements. But it's now going to a computer. So basically, he has to think, okay, click on start. And because his body is still sending the pathways from his brain to his hands, even though his hands can't do that, these little cat's face is like mortified. No, but it's working.
It's like so that people
Oh.
can like do like I understand it's helping that, but it's also so that like you can have your phone in your brain.
It's scary in a lot of ways, but how amazing is that for someone who's a quadriplegic?
What
Like,
a time to be alive.
Fascinating, and it's working. Like, it is working.
Yeah, but it's scary though.
Oh,
and
for
like,
sure.
I don't want to be one of those ignorant people that's like, we have to, but I don't know. I'm all about technological advancement. I think that there is, I don't know, I've probably told you guys this, like I was on a hockey tournament with the kids this year and The Matrix was like on in the hotel room, and I loved The Matrix like as a kid and I still love it. But it's like I was watching it kind of with a new light because we are in the age of AI and we are in the age of that blurred line between what is consciousness and what is life, right? And we can see that we can create forms of consciousness that I feel are consciousness in their own right. And it is scaring me and I just want to be dead for it. I'm not going to lie. When it comes to its fruition, I want to be dead in the grave. And
I said that last
Ruined
podcast.
Cat's Day, for sure.
yes,
Ruined my day again.
yeah,
Thanks.
just like dead in the grave. I'm sorry. Good morning.
I don't know. You said The Matrix, and my brain was like trans allegory.
Yes, though, absolutely. Yes.
I've never seen The Matrix. actually.
Okay,
I
watch
know,
it tonight.
I know.
It is the most philosophical. It's so philosophical. It's basically that just like age-old question of, are we a brain in a vat? How can we prove that we are experiencing this, right? And as Descartes said, last night I dreamed I was a butterfly, but am I really a butterfly dreaming I'm me? We don't fucking know. But then he was like, I think, therefore I am, which is the whole thing of like, I think, does Lex need to take your medication? Lex is here.
It's
you.
It's me. I take
All our
medication.
meds.
All of our meds.
I think, therefore I am, which like, but then, can you actually trust the thoughts of your own mind?
No.
You cannot. I don't know, right? Because then there's that whole that new philosophy of like, you are not your thoughts, which I think therefore I am is a really comfy thought for somebody that is like neurotypical and like doesn't have OCD. And I always think about that because of Finley. And I think like his thoughts are so intrusive sometimes and so sad and dark and not the Finley that he is. It's not him. And so we talk a lot about how you are not your thoughts and your soul, like the Finliness, the thing that makes you you, is apart from your thoughts. But that's really messing me up on a philosophical level.
Yeah.
It really is.
But I've been thinking about that lately. I've been thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are just, they're thoughts. They're
Yeah.
not reality. it's one of those things I have to like tell myself constantly, whereas like unless it's actually happening and it's like truth, it's literally, it's high thought by thought, you know?
Yes, you observe it and then it leaves.
Yeah. Or it doesn't. And
then you really have to sink into like, I'm not my thoughts.
Yeah.
But I'm getting really deep here. But it's that whole like compartmentalization of like, okay, I'm not my thoughts, but is that only relevant, I guess, when I'm having thoughts that I don't want to have or that make me uncomfy? Because there's so many thoughts that I do have that I feel like, oh, this is authentically me, right? So at what point is it like an intrusion, and at what point is it your authentic self? Anyways, I don't know. This just all goes back to like, are computers living? And I think that they are. Okay?
I think that's all parts work, though, because I think when you are authentically in yourself and you have those thoughts, it's not a fear response, it's not a trauma response, it's not parts coming through.
True.
Then those are relevant, actual thoughts that are holistically connected to you.
Yeah.
But when you have something that's, a neurological brain disorder, or you have intrusive thoughts because you're struggling with, a number of ailments create intrusive thoughts, but that's when you can separate it and it ends up being, I'm doing the thing. I want to talk to you guys when my mic's over here.
I'm kind of doing that too. It's like my mic is
really
just
is.
Hang on.
yeah.
Hi.
Be really nice.
We need to get like those
Stands.
headsets. Oh yeah, we should do that. Like a boom.
I lost my train of thought, but
So did I.
you know what I mean? Like
I have something fucking in my mouth.
what's in there?
You know what it is I'm using this toothpaste. This is so disgusting. I might have to like edit this out.
The QB ones? The ones that
No,
you munch on?
it's no. What? It's this like Sensodyne because I have like sensitive teeth. Okay.
Beautiful teeth.
Thank you, but they're
Beautiful
fucking
teeth.
sensitive. And so this Sensodyne toothpaste leaves this like disgusto film in my mouth that I'm constantly like playing with. And it's really disgusting. And I'm really sorry that everybody had to find out that tidbit of my
Dental
life.
work? Like how much dental work did we all get done between us? Braces?
Yeah,
you guys have too nice of teeth to not do about braces.
Braces.
Okay. Is that it? Like what else do we?
like permanent retainer.
Yeah, I have a retainer. And
Yeah.
I feel like I've had like a large amount of adult teeth removed to make room.
Yeah, I had like
Okay.
surgery.
So you had like all the crowding. Like,
Yeah, I had like
okay.
really bad crowding and like
Yeah.
I had braces forever. I had braces for like almost 3 years.
Fucking hate dental work, man.
Oh, so do I. And it's so expensive. Your teeth are beautiful. I love your teeth.
I hate the dentist. I have like an immediate anxiety attack the second I get in the chair. I feel like I'm being held to die.
And then I panic that that's how people feel in our chair, and I'm like, oh, I really hope I'm not doing that. To
No,
people,
it's
'cause
not. It's a
an
choice.
It's a choice.
It's a choice. You go to the dentist because you don't want to have no teeth. Although I've never been afraid of the dentist, and I think it's because I've never had a cavity, and so I've never experienced any kind of like drilling or like weird noises
awful.
and like having to hold my mouth open for a really long time.
No, I can feel it in my ear. I
See,
don't
there
like
you go.
it.
That's why.
Philosophical questions. I have still been thinking about if fire is real.
I know.
Yes, it is.
Or sorry, if fire is alive.
I know.
Yes, it is.
And fucked me up with that last week. I
know.
Now I
It is
can't stop
alive.
thinking about it.
It needs to breathe. It needs to eat. It
But what
grows.
is this is the whole thing,
What is
because
the-
what is alive,
Yeah.
right? And you
Everything.
think like consciousness, is it consciousness that makes us alive? Because then I think like we also have to realize that we know nothing. 500 years ago, we literally thought the earth was flat. Like
yeah.
200 years
Some
ago,
people
some people still do. Bless it, some people still do. So, and like 200 years ago, we're like, I don't know, like there's like the 4 humors in the body, that's like medieval or whatever, but like in the grand scheme of human existence, we know 0 things. So like who are we to say that things that we do not feel have consciousness? We now know the trees can see things. That blows my mind.
What?
Okay, so there's like this cell, I'm like,
You can see things? I know they
So-
can communicate.
Yeah.
they can communicate through like the mycelium.
Yes, and
Underneath, and they can also share their nutrients. Like they know which trees are their babies, right? So
that's
like
cute.
they will share nutrients, their own nutrients with their offspring because they know it's their offspring.
nice.
But I'm like an armchair everything, okay? I know like 70% of things, but I can't actually like tell you facts. So please do not take my word for anything. But there is a cell. There's cells in our like retina, I think, that we have that like exist in our retina, and they allow us to see things with our eyes.
Okay.
So those cells exist on trees, not in one location like they do on us, but all over the tree, these cells exist, and trees can sense fear. They can like see you approaching. This is why that whole experiment with like when you talk nice to a tree, right? And then when you talk shitty to a tree, it dies, which is very sad. But this is like the tree. I know. No, this has fucked me up because now I'm like, I can't even watch Terry like cut down trees at camp because I'm like, the mummy, it's like the mummy's watching the baby tree get killed and it's like watching somebody cut it down. I can't. So the tree can see enough when you're close to it. It can't like, but it can see enough that it can tell what color shirt you're wearing. And that has literally changed the way that I think about everything.
I can't wait for the Disney movie.
Whoa. There's a Disney movie?
No, I just mean like this is going to be a Disney movie.
We should write
like what trees see and what they witness.
Any moms out there that feel like having a good cry, you need to read the book The Oak Inside the Acorn. I think that's what it's called. I forget who wrote it. It's so good. I used to read it to my kids all the time. The Oak Inside the Acorn. Yes. It's so good. Anyways,
you heard it here.
Digression.
For those of you, I'm sure everyone knows who Ange is, but she's on the podcast before. She also works alongside us at DTC, been a piercer for many years, and is a junior tattoo artist.
Yes.
Yeah, you just made junior. Yay.
I know. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So nice.
I guess since the last time you were on, that was a change. So, yeah, and not so long ago, Ange told me that she wasn't an artist, and now we're here.
Katrina always brings this up, and it's true. But it's just like a process of learning. It's like I didn't think that, like, I had a very, I think, narrow idea of what an artist was, and working here has definitely changed my narrow idea. Because I think that I am an artist, and just like little things that I'm like, oh, I can draw that now. Whoa, like on my own. And it was learning. Like I wouldn't say that I've come by it naturally, but it's just a lot of like learning and working and experimenting. And
I think anyone can be an artist, honestly.
Yes,
if they really put their mind to it. If you want something, you're passionate about it. You can really do anything within reason. I think for the arts, I'm gonna say singing, you can learn it, but there's some people who are naturally more blessed.
Yes.
Certain dance styles, some people have just a more a certain body.
Dance. Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like 100%. It's like there's certain ways of the arts where people are more inclined to do that. But I think there is definitely like most people can pick up a guitar, and if they put the dedication and the time into it, they'll figure out how to play it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
no, I agree.
And painting, if you really try hard enough, you'll figure it out. So.
No, I agree. And I think that there's always things like that you can, like, we all have our own limitations, right? Like even like with music, like I've seen so many, I'm going to shit on Steve for a second. So I've tried to teach Steve how to play the guitar for years. And Steve, bless him, he wants to play so bad, but he has no rhythm. So he doesn't have the ability to keep a consistent beat. And if you don't have that, sorry, like you're not going to be able to do music. And I think, like, I mean, that might be really ignorant of me to say. I'm not actually sure if that's something that can be learned. I don't think it is, but I'm not sure. And like with art, like I've definitely tried to do things that I'm like, I know that is not, I'm not going to be able to do that because it's something that my brain just does not understand. But for most of it, I think that you can learn. You can learn.
Absolutely.
You can learn most things.
Yeah. So, folks, go do it.
Yeah.
Learn the thing.
That's true. In baby steps. Yeah. Because like my problem is like I'll start something and I'm like, if I'm not good at it right away, and I'm like this with music too, like I'll go learn a song, and if it's like, if I can't like play it in the second time that I've tried to play it, I'm like, this song's not for me. And I used to be like, hey, no, like you just got to give it a second and try a little bit harder and give it some time. And I'm rambling today.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
We got shot with a pellet gun yesterday.
Yes.
Not me personally, but the business.
I don't know. It's Saturday or Sunday for sure.
What is that?
What?
Drive-bys.
Drive-by shootings at DTC.
Drive-by shootings. Crazy.
We're going to find you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a rock.
We've had all kinds of like we've had drive-by poopings.
Yeah. Someone did go to the bathroom on our property. Yeah.
Drive-by like clothes drops.
That one lady loves to be naked. I get it. I love also being naked, but
She loves to be naked and use my car like her closet space.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, when I had first, well, more than a couple years ago now, probably 7 years ago, there was someone living in that van or that truck that was like abandoned back there.
She hasn't been around for a while.
Oh, that just broke. It was winter too.
Poor
and then,
baby.
Like, they kicked her
I
out.
know.
I'm
No.
like, gosh, she doesn't know where to go.
Honestly,
Like,
don't kick her out. This is my thing. It's they're human beings.
I think the naked lady is alive anymore.
No.
Really?
I haven't seen her either in a long time.
Yeah, I was
Well,
gonna
maybe
say, it's
she's
been
getting
about-
help. Let's.
I don't
Let's
know.
just
I haven't
hope.
seen her in about 6 months. I also haven't
it's
seen
so sad. Carly?
Carly. I haven't seen Carly.
I haven't
in a
seen
while.
Carly either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor darlings.
Yeah.
Honestly, like people, I know it bothers me so much because like it bothers me so much. These poor people, and it's not even like you can blame them. Like who knows what cocktail of trauma and
We're all
mental shit. Like we're all so capable. You know, we're all capable of anything. This is the thing. Life will teach you like all the things that when I was a kid, I'm like, I'm not capable of that shit. I've done them. Like I have. Like you know what I mean? You're like, oh, I guess I am. And it's just like life teaching you that we are just all a hop, skip, and a jump away
From being in that position.
Exactly.
from being in that position, and we
Exactly.
need to just have compassion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think our city is getting better, or maybe I'm just removing people from my life, and that's why it's getting better.
That could be it.
You know what I mean? Like it's,
Yes.
but I feel sheltered because something had. When we found out that there was going to be that protest
This weekend.
this weekend, and then we're going to go to the anti-protest.
The protest for what?
They're protesting the drag reading time at the
Is
library.
this still going on?
See, this is my reaction.
Still going on?
Is I'm like, people are still homophobic and transphobic, and
allow
I'm
me
like,
to
what?
readjust.
Because I don't have those people in my life, so I'm always kind of like, like dumbfounded when I hear about it. But I'm like, of course that goes on. People are cruel. People are just.
Yeah, the freedom fighters have 3 separate rallies set up
Isn't that nuts?
this weekend, and one of them they scheduled it for during drag story time during the Pride Festival activities on Sunday. So I will send you that
I'm going to
information.
choose my words.
It's so well. This podcast will be out after that, so it's not like we're.
Who are the
anything.
freedom fighters? Are these the same freedom fighters that were like going to Ottawa and shit? Okay.
They're the fuck Trudeau guys.
They're the fuck
They
Trudeau guys.
they
Okay.
identify
And is that
themselves
it? Like, are those the people, or are there like?
There's a multitude of groups, but the group locally it's the same people who.
So they're just like conservative.
Yeah, anti-abortion. They're outside Canadian Tire a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All in the name of Jesus too, I'm sure.
Oh god.
Something. I don't know. In the name. Of something.
Yeah.
That's really
I
sad.
went through this one guy's Instagram, not his Instagram, his Facebook, and it's all every other post is like misguided rewordings of things from the Bible
No.
and talking about how we're indoctrinating children when we're literally like drag story time is for the families of the LGBTQIA plus community and their allies.
Also, it's somebody reading a story to kids in a really non-threatening way, and the kids are liking
Dressed
it.
as a character.
Dressed as a character. This is the thing.
It's no different than Barney. It's no different than
No.
It's
No.
literally kids love someone in character. It doesn't matter.
And they're not hurting anybody.
Nope.
This is my thing. They're not hurting anybody. These people are like, I mean, I always go on rants about Christians because I am a Christian. I identify as a Christian, and people will come at me for that because they'll be like, you're not, because of a million, many of my opinions. But I think, like, honestly, these people who are just joining a cause, please, you're doing things in the name of the Bible. Go read the New Testament and read the type of person that Jesus was. That's all you have to do. And if you can't, from that information, figure out that Jesus would never be part of that and is not part of further marginalizing people or shaming people or making them feel like he is not accessible to them because of the way that they authentically are, then you need to go read your Bible and get some true information about it, because that ain't right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really bothers me.
Regardless of faith or whatever reason that you want to justify being hateful towards someone is not okay.
It's not okay.
Like they're just looking for something to be like, well, I feel this way and this gives
It's
me a
for them.
reason. It gives me an
It's for
allowance
them. Yes,
to do
it's
this.
for them.
To
It
show
gives
hate.
them a place
Yeah.
to feel like they belong, right? Everyone
Yeah.
wants to feel like they belong. This is the place that these people feel like they belong. They're thinking only of themselves and how they're not thinking of the ripple effect that could have to these individuals who are in drag, these children who are receiving this sweet, non-threatening, and like, what the hell?
It's entertainment, and they will spew until they are blue in the face about how, like, 'cause if they showed up to drag story time, they'd literally see that they're reading Robert Munch.
Yes.
And Pete the Cat.
Oh, Robert Munch.
I love Pete the
They're
Cat.
reading classic children's books.
They already know that though. It's because they think that they're making kids gay.
We're not making kids
here,
gay.
there's
Your
a
kid's
gay
gonna be
person,
gay rather
there's a
than
gay community being
No.
in gay
Your
drag,
kid is
making
gonna
the
come
kids
out.
gay.
Your kid is gonna come out as gay, trans, bi, two-spirit, whatever, regardless of what environment they grow up in. They have more acceptance if they grow up within the LGBTQIA+ community.
Yeah.
All these kids that are at story time are going to turn out to be straight and cis, and they just had a good time.
And honestly, they don't.
Exactly.
Kids don't think of it like that. A little kid listening to a story song can be like, "This is a drag queen reading me a story. I wonder how I'm going to be influenced." No, they're like,
It's
"This
not.
nice person is reading me a fun story, and they look really cool."
Yeah.
The end. That's
and they
all.
have really cool makeup, and I
Yes.
like the way they did their nails, and they're reading the story with inflection and character, and that was a fun 40 minutes of my Sunday. Thank you, Mommy,
And they're not going
Daddy.
to think about it after that. They're going to be like, "I wonder if I'm gay." They're not going
No.
to think about it. Just as you know, when you get fucking, what's that bear? That fire bear. Smokey the bear.
Oh my God.
Smokey the bear comes to your school and tells you to
fire
not
bear.
be a friggin'
Pyromaniac.
pyromaniac.
that funny to
Are
me?
you going home after and being like, "Damn, I'm a furry"? No, you're not. You're like, "A bear came today and told me not to start fires because I'm a kid and it was fun." The end. You don't. They don't have that.
They don't have that. But
Honest to God.
I know what a furry is, but I want to hear Ange explain it for those listening that don't know what a furry is.
Okay, so I feel like furries can come in. Is it not a person that like has sexy time dressed as an animal? Yeah. Yes. Smokey
Not
the bear.
Oh, what else could it be?
Influencing the youth. But you know what? Is it also, see, you know what? This is my ignorance. I said that to be funny. Is it also somebody that like,
fucking hilarious. I was dying.
is it also somebody that may not take on the appearance of an animal, but identifies in their sexual life as an animal?
That's not
Okay,
always
well then you
sexual.
know what? Educate a sister.
There's just like, there you have like a persona, and it's like a community. So it's like people create their character, and then they have like meetups and stuff. Some people it's sexual, but some people
Oh, it's just like a cosplay type situation.
It's like cosplay.
Okay,
A fursona.
That's great.
that's funny. Forgive my ignorance. Okay, I'm always afraid that people are going to be mean to me on the internet.
persona, because they're all different animals. What would be your persona?
That's so fun.
Mine would
Oh
be
my
a panther.
God, this is so
you
fun.
get Panther for sure.
There's some like, and these people can sell these like the whole headpiece and the whole outfit for like $10,000. They
Yeah.
make it all by hand.
It's crazy.
I just think we should do whatever we
I
want
love
to do.
dressing
and I
up.
think that
I
that's
would
so
be a
fun.
squirrel.
Yeah, you would.
I want a
get
big
squirrel.
fluffy tail. I do. I'd want a big fluffy tail, and I feel like I kind of look like a squirrel. And I would really like. I'm gonna now after this podcast. You're like,
Just on Google.
which furry am I? And then I'm gonna go get a costume. I wear it to work.
Yeah, you would.
I would actually. I would love that. I love costumes.
Yeah. You're very good at Halloween. You always have such a good, funny costume. Because usually at the studio we'll dress up. Like you were a chicken that one year. It was so good.
Because I just don't care.
Yeah, no, it's great. As you shouldn't.
One year I went as a ghost. I literally just put a sheet on and took the kids trick or treat. I'm like, no, I want anonymity this Halloween. We're going as a ghost.
Yeah. Circling back to you saying like people are mean online, you're not wrong. You just got to drown it out because I feel like a lot of people are keyboard heroes or
Yes.
they're looking at something and for whatever reason they feel envy or they are just miserable and something else is bothering them and they just want to.
I have always,
your day.
ever since I've known you, I have admired that you don't give a fuck about
So
what people think of
unbothered.
you. And so unbothered. And I mean, through like the things that I've gone through in my life, you know, I definitely have felt like I have grown to care less because you just have to. But I am a sensitive bitch. I am. And even
Yeah,
like things that are online, like I'll read them and be like, "Oh," and like I don't know that person. I don't know what they're going through in their life. But like if they're mean to me, then I'll just think about it at night, and I can't help it. And I wish that I could.
Yeah, that kind of stuff though. It's like it comes from a place of like, what is it? Not importance, but like what's the word I'm looking for? It's a
don't know. I can't
projection
think.
of them feeling that they're important or entitled.
Oh, yes. I
Well,
see
it's
what
the
you're
same reason
saying.
why people go on the freedom fighters. That's the same reason. They feel like they're given some kind of validation for their existence based on.
I've never left a negative, hateful comment.
Me neither.
on anything, if it's people within the city or famous people or anything.
I've never even written a bad review on things. I can't. And there's been times where I could have.
It just doesn't come to my brain to do that.
Me too.
But there's a whole genre of people in the world that's all that they do.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense to me that that's how their actual brain
I know.
every day.
I don't want to be friends with that person. So,
Yeah.
like,
Super famous. Like, say I like go and click on like fucking Justin Bieber's comments, and then people are like, and they're just doing that constantly.
I know.
Everyone, I'm like, that is like a lot of energy.
It's a lot of energy.
And it's misguided energy.
yeah,
And it's really sad because I think like that's really sad that you're because in order to be like, you have to then be like, I'm gonna now consciously form a negative opinion of you. Once I formed that negative opinion of you, I'm gonna write it out. I don't really think about people long enough, or like celebrities long enough, or people on the internet long enough to form a negative opinion. And that's not true. Sometimes I do, but it's like,
Seeing too much Taylor Swift.
yeah, sometimes it's just like too much, and it's not even anything against them. It's just like, I'm seeing your face too much and it annoys me because I don't know you.
I think it's, the thing that you say a lot, and I'm going to misquote it, but it's, if you're going to point a finger at me, point 10 at yourself first.
Oh, it's fucking, okay, hold on now.
I think there's 4 back or 3 back.
Yeah.
You point a
But no,
finger
I
and
say
three
like,
point back.
Oh, I see, because the hand.
don't point out the speck in somebody's eye and ignore the
That's it.
plank in your own.
That's
which
it.
is biblical. It's right in the Bible.
I'm a Christian.
It is though. That's what I mean. Like if that's what the Bible says, and people are going to fucking protest trans people, drag queens reading to kids.
Don't protest trans people either.
Don't do that either. Okay, we shouldn't be
'Cause
protesting anything.
What people choose to do with their individuality within their own lives that have zero effect on you, get fucked.
Yes.
Like, get fucked.
Yes. Look at the plank in your own eye. This is the thing.
Yeah.
Everyone has things every human has things that you need to work on. Look at the things in your life that, especially if you're coming from I'm really on the Christian train today. From like a Christian perspective, make your own self right with the Lord. Honestly, do it. Look at your own sin, the shit in your life before you're looking at the shit in the fucking drag queen's life. Stop it.
Get on your knees and start talking to Sky Daddy, because you got some shit wrong with you.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare, Katrina.
Ange is killing me too. Oh my god.
It's because I'm in such a bad mood. I didn't sleep last night. I'm in such a bad mood.
Holy fuck. I think at the end of the day, what people don't realize, in the issue of trying to cancel people online and doing things that you think is for the greater good by having this opinion or sharing things or, trying to call people out. And it's like, that cancel culture is very dangerous because we're silencing a lot of people.
Who don't deserve to be canceled.
And it's
because we don't know the whole story. We know this much of the story, and there's a well underneath it.
You're not getting the full context.
No.
And it's just, it really makes people live in fear of, oh, I can't say that. And then you're not being authentic and genuine when you're doing something like a podcast, because you're so in your head being like, oh, well, I don't want someone to interpret that the wrong way, or I don't want to. But the whole benefit of, like, when I watch a podcast is I want to see someone who's being authentic and being real, because that's how I'm going to find I can relate to them, or maybe they're going to say something that's going to make me feel like, oh, I'm not alone and I also feel that way. Or, this person that is trying to cancel someone, their sister could benefit from it, or their daughter, or their loved one. And it's like, you don't realize that you're actually affecting those around you by going out of your way to try and silence someone, even if you think that you're doing it for the greater good. It's really not.
But the thing is when you don't know somebody personally, when it's like the community, like our society essentially canceling celebrities, which is what it is, for nitpicking every single thing that they say, right? You're not like it's making it permissible to essentially cancel people in your own life for no good reason because you don't know them. It's normalizing that. And even when I just said, like earlier, I said under my breath, people shouldn't be protesting. Holy fucking hell. To have confidence.
Sorry, you're miserable, and
It's just another form of bullying.
Yeah.
100%.
And we don't stand for bullying.
No.
It's almost like even more annoying when they think that they're trying to educate you, or that
Oh, it's always from a place of like, I'm helping you,
It's almost
or
like,
it's, yeah.
be a fucking bitch. Like,
Yeah,
if you're
yeah, own it.
Why is it in this like weird, like backhanded, like
Passive aggressive
I'm
shit.
just trying to be for the greater
Yeah.
good. It's like, no, you're being a fucking cunt. Act like it.
Yeah, I'm just worried about her. Are you? Are you, sweetie? You're just worried about her?
But we need to also,
No, you're
it's that
being
whole thing that
judgmental.
people are afraid of talking shit and afraid of their own feelings. If you're going to judge someone, judge them, okay? And then reflect on it because somebody will correct you. Don't put it forth as this passive aggressive disguised kindness. I'm helping you. You're not fucking helping me. You can't even help yourself. Like that's what it is, right? Like it goes back to the plank in the eye. The plank in the eye is what it's all about, okay?
Don't plank in the eye.
It's the plank in the eye because we need to. You have all your own shit. Everybody has things to work on.
Don't
until
throw
you are.
stones
Yes.
unless you expect them. Like you can't throw stones and not expect them to ricochet.
That is also biblical. Let he who is without sin throw the first stone. That's what it is.
Hell yeah, my Catholic upbringing did something.
But why are people taking the fucking we need to protest gay people
Yeah,
and
I
not
don't
thinking about those two major things in the Bible, both of which like literally Jesus stopped somebody from condemning a woman who was committing adultery, caught in the act of having sex with somebody that wasn't her husband.
Sex.
And Jesus was like, no, you're good. Don't throw stones at her. Go work out the own shit in your life. And then he blessed her and then she left. Amen.
People don't want to do therapy, work on their own healing. They want to be focused on other people's lives
Yes.
and worried about how you're impacting people. And it's like, it's all just a distraction so they
Yes.
don't have to deal with their own miserable life.
The plank in their own eye.
It's-
I'm going to stop. I'm done. I'm not saying that again.
Keep saying it. I like it.
We're going to do a clip and it's going to be every time you say a plank in your eye.
in your eye.
It really,
together.
this is like, this bothers me. I'm so passionate about the plank in the eye. I tell this to my kids all the time.
What is
Plank in the eye means like, so it's so just say I don't even know how to explain it. You have a speck of dust in your eye and I'm like, Riley, you have a fucking speck of dust in your eye. Look at it, it's a speck. But I literally have, like, I'm impaled with a plank in my eyeball. Like, that's what it is. And I'm ignoring that and trying to get you to take the little speck of dust that's out of your eye.
When she literally has
When I'm literally walking around, I'm also keeping my
she's got a fucking lobotomy peg
Yes.
in her eye.
which sometimes I would like to have.
Me as fuck. A
Yeah.
new piercing for everyone. Lobotomy.
Yeah.
But it rings so true because it's like, why are you so worried and concerned about how that person's living their life
Yes.
and throwing that judgment? It's because you don't want to reflect on how you're living yours,
know.
or you're envious and you wish you had the confidence to live that life. Just go home.
Yes, but on a deeper level, I'm doing that right now.
Are you?
But in the sense that I'm like calling out, like I'm getting so worked up about the idea of these protesters with planks in their eyes, and I'm being like, you shouldn't do that, and I'm like, oh, I also have a plank in my eye that I need to work on.
I mean, go for it.
Yeah.
Like, they can show up and they can
It's
protest,
just not nice.
but I'm going to
Freedom
stand there
of
and
speech, sure.
counter protest
It's not
because
nice.
it's not nice, but also like your opinion doesn't trump mine.
No, but your opinion's dumb. I'm sorry. This is now like it's dumb. Cut that out, Riley.
It's very hateful. It's very
Yeah.
harmful. And I think that more people need to reflect on how we are affecting others. And yes, we can preach about how my life doesn't affect yours, and it shouldn't, and it doesn't. But let's still do things with love and respect, and realize that.
We're all made of the same shite. All of us are.
from the same cloth?
We are cut from the same cloth. Me, you, road rash that lives behind the. Honestly,
Road rash is a vibe.
I love road rash. Honestly, we should. I want to be, there's certain people that I'm like, I want to be like you, where he's just like strutting down Wellington West.
does not care.
Not
His
giving a
furry
shit.
hat and
in
his
his furry
cane
hat
collection.
in 32 degree weather and his vest and shit. Good for you.
He's vibing, honestly.
Living a solid life.
I know.
I love him.
I know.
Be living in like such ignorance and bliss. Sometimes I'm like, what's that like? Not to say that I'm super well informed, but I try to be. And there's certain times where I'm like, how are you that not
Wouldn't it be nice?
connected? It would just, I'm not talking about road rash. I'm thinking about a comment that my mom made. Oh, she just
Do tell.
love her, but there's just times where I'm like, is that actually the thoughts that go on inside your
Yeah,
head?
like you're not
it's
living
concerning.
it when it's like you realize you're talking to someone, like you're not living in the same world that I'm living in.
No, not even close.
You're not, and
Like,
it's okay.
Not even close.
I want to live in your world sometimes.
So sheltered.
Yeah.
We're just over there.
Yes.
Just hanging out. But yeah.
Because it doesn't matter that I have all these opinions. Like, honestly, like I think I literally go to bed crying about Gaza every fucking day. Okay,
yeah.
I go to bed crying about it. What can I do? I would not that. Okay, this is like not right, because it's not that I don't want to like be sensitive to the plights of other people, but there's people that literally never think about it, and they're like, I need to buy a freaking dress for whatever, or like I need to buy a new car, and complaining about their lives and complaining about shit that doesn't matter. And I'm like, I want to be you.
Yeah.
I want to be you.
Yeah.
I would live longer. I'd have a lot less cortisol in my bod.
Yeah. I wouldn't cry it as much.
Yeah, cry every day for fucking the children. But that's such a broad statement, but I do. I look at my own kids, my little babies, and I think like, it's just luck of the draw that that could be my little Ian or my little Finley over there.
I think about
it fucking tears me apart every day.
like the funeral that I was just at, and the funeral that I'm going to tomorrow, and I'm like, I could puke. Like, we don't realize how fortunate we are, and it takes something like that to happen to be like, oh shit, like I need to like rein in and stop. Like, woe's me. And it's not to say like our own problems are our own problems, and the worst thing that's ever happened to you is still the worst thing that's ever happened to you, and it has that heaviness and that weight.
Yes.
And we need to be compassionate and give ourselves grace. But it's also like, okay, like let's also be appreciative for the gifts that we have. Even living in Canada as a whole is like, yes, I know the cat's going to give a face.
You know what? Canada's a piece of felt right now, but listen to me, we're not being bombed.
Far more beyond a lot of countries.
We're
not saying we're better, but like we are.
It's like
We're allowed to have a voice here.
Yeah. It's just like a choosing of the lesser of two evils kind of thing, where like, fuck, I hate this country.
But that's all life is.
Could I live anywhere else? No, because I would be ostracized.
Yeah.
Like
I wouldn't be alive.
And in a lot of countries.
The fact that I'm alive in Canada is also like interesting in itself, by my hand or someone else's, but like,
no, for sure. And like picking, like I mean, I tell this to my kids too, like a lot of opinions, especially opinions that have to do with like country dynamics or government and stuff like that. You are picking. Your opinion is they're both evil. You just have to pick which evil opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I think that every time I vote, I'm like, do I really think that this person is going to change the climate of how we live and not be influenced by the pull of bureaucracy, the pull of capitalism, all of these things that we experience living here? And they're not. We're never going to have that. So you just have to choose whatever evil you want to align yourself with.
Yeah, because nobody's free from sin at this point.
Especially no governing body is. And we're just as medieval as we always have been, right? Like,
yeah, we're just medieval with technology.
Oh, blessings.
Gesundheit.
Riley sneezed.
And her
headset just flew right off of her head.
That was adorable. You okay, buddy?
We're all...
Am I okay? Have you seen me the last 3 days?
There's some kind of weird energy up in here, though. I feel like we need to smudge. We need to smudge or like do a cleansing.
I'm like a fucking nightmare. I don't know what the fuck is happening.
You seem a little angry.
You should take a shroom.
Little
for baby.
We need to go like break some plates.
We have a rec room.
That's it.
What?
Shut the podcast off. Let's go.
Your own items.
Shut the podcast off.
They give you protective eyewear and all the weapons you want to smash.
Kidding.
Who are these people?
No, it's at the
Let's
Old
go.
Canadian.
At the Old Canadian.
Yeah, where the axe throwing is, they have a rec room.
Smart.
And you can bring stuff.
Our next
to
podcast
smash.
should just be there. Be like, you want to see what our real personalities are like? Just like film Riley smashing things for half an hour. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
I'm so into that. I've been talking about it for years. Like, my fucking prayers have been answered. I just need to destroy shit.
I don't like
and walk
doing
away.
that.
Oh, I love it.
I know that some people have like release in that, but I don't. I don't like breaking things.
Oh,
Smash a car.
Oh no!
Sledgehammer.
I could never.
That's
even
why I like demo jobs. Like if someone's like, I need to destroy my bathroom or doing a complete gut, I'm like, give me a sledgehammer. I will fucking wreck that
I'll
room
call
so
you now.
goddamn
Yeah, I have a
fast.
lot because I can't even be around when like
Stairs,
Steve demo
gone?
stuff.
Give me give me a crowbar.
What's your outlet if it's not screaming or
My
aggression?
outlet, yeah,
The marijuana.
the marijuana for sure, because I feel like it. I hope there's no honestly people from my church watching this. You're gonna be like, here I am talking about the fucking plank in the eyeball, and then I'm like,
Reefer madness.
Yes, I'm like, I just have like reeferino after reeferino when I go home. But that
legal.
also like music is a huge outlet. Like reeferino. That was honestly, I like Ned Flanders said that on The Simpsons.
No one funnier in this world than Ange.
Oh fuck.
No, she's on one. I'm obsessed.
But no, I music a lot. I music a lot. I yell at my dogs, and I take a lot of anger out on my dogs. And I say things like, I'm gonna kill you, I wanna kick you, I'm gonna throw you in the garbage. I say things like that.
Dog moms watch this movie.
Nobody
Get your ass over here before I kick your
Yeah,
ass.
I
Gonna be
do.
clipped and she's gonna be canceled.
I'm
Like,
like-
she throws her dogs.
Dog abuser.
When the first clip is, I don't understand why people get canceled so often, but next thing, I want to take
I abuse my dogs. I love my dogs, and everybody that knows me knows that I fucking
Oh, you're such a
worship
good-
worship my dogs.
You're a caregiver.
But they get you know when it's like you stub your toe. Does this ever happen to you? You like stub your toe and then you're like, who can I blame? It's like, why did my mom? I literally still. I'm like, why did my mom leave that fucking chair here? I'm like, my mom doesn't live with me.
That's the thing.
She doesn't live here. It's me. I left the chair out.
Actually, being a fucking cunt. You know how you're like that with your family because your family's the closest people to you.
Yes.
Or that you're like, it has nothing to do with them, but I need a bitch them.
Yes.
It's happening with you guys. And it's so bad. But
We
you're
are
my
the family.
You're my
We're the family.
Yes.
This morning we're all like,
kill the world. I'm like, fuck.
Yes.
Riley is on one.
I had this
Riley is
realization
one,
last
when you
night.
see it in her eye, and it's just like
Yes.
she's gonna.
Oh
fuck
no, you
shit
can
up.
see it in Riley's eye. The second I walk in, I'm like, it's gonna be like that. But and that's okay.
I'm so full of anger.
That's okay.
As a child, I don't know.
That's okay. That's okay. You need a dog that you can abuse. Okay, listen to me. When you
Don't
said that
abuse
apology yesterday, when you're like, guys, I'm sorry for being a cunt or whatever, the realization, I was in my kitchen cooking the second dinner because I cook 2 dinners because Steve, it's not even my kids, it's Steve. He's like, I can't eat that. I'm like, okay, I'll cook you a whole other meal. Anyways, I digress. I read it while I was cooking my second meal, and I thought, what a privilege, because I knew that that's what it was. That you now, I'm like, I will delight and revel in you being a bitch to me because I know it's because I hold that place in your life, and it's so special because I've never had that with anybody but my mother. I'm so mean to my mom. I blame my mom for every fucking thing. And now it's you guys.
We're here for it.
And it's great because
We're
it just
all-
means that we're that close.
We're very honest though. Like,
Yes.
I like that it's not like fucking Riley's being a bitch.
No.
We're like, Riley.
Why are you
Like, it's like it should be.
I was like, I was being a mega cunt for 2 days, and like anyone
Hey.
who talked to me, I was like, fuck off.
You looked at me like I had 10 heads
Yes.
yesterday, and I was like, holy fuck, this woman's gonna skin me alive.
I like it, but I like it.
I need it. Like, I need it. I
we
need
all
to
have
see
those
that,
days,
like,
man.
I'm gonna fucking kill you look in your eye, because then I'm like, that's my wife.
At least I wear my emotions on my sleeve.
100%. I would rather that.
that's
I would
better.
rather that than not know.
Like passive aggressive.
Oh, I hate that. What's wrong? Nothing.
I hate passive aggressive.
If there's something wrong, you will know.
that.
Trust me, I will tell you.
Yeah, but even the passive, it's sad because it's like a lot of people who are passive aggressive, it's because they grew up with like unregulated shit around them and they don't know how to.
They can't be.
They can't
glass
be
house
angry.
syndrome.
It's so naive to think that like humans just need to like do that.
I know.
Like resentment, where it's just
Yeah.
like we're all fucking angry sometimes. We're all
Yeah.
fucking
Yes.
sometimes.
We all have emotions.
And you can let yourself, it's like, I feel like when I get like depressed and when I PMS and stuff, I'm like, I have to find a way to get myself out of this. But it's like, no, I just need to revel in it
Yeah.
and be like, this is what it is. The end.
That was like the day before the funeral. Laure was very upset that she was crying nonstop and
Oh,
that she was
baby.
feeling this level of hurt. And she's just like, I just need to punch something. I was like, okay. I gave her space to literally sit in the bedroom and like flail the pillow around and punch it and let out her little of anger at it. And she's like, I think I can go to sleep now, but in the morning, can I rip paper?
Yeah.
Yes.
So self-aware.
That's very healthy.
It's very self-aware, and I
great.
it's the same thing with you guys, like knowing that we have the space to be an absolute cunt and sometimes slam doors or go radio silent, but knowing that it's not, I don't know, malicious and directed.
And that it's not personal. And I feel like this might be the first time in my life that somebody like, even, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm just shitting on Riley's mood. But even just like Riley's mood, it's like, remember last year when like, we went through this period last year where like I was in a mood with you, you were in a mood with me, and finally I'm like, I need to talk to Riley about this because like this can't go on. And we talked, and then I felt like I was so aware in those moments. I'm like, I can't believe I'm talking to Riley like this, because normally I'm like, are you mad at me? But I was like, Riley, bleh. And then you were like, Ange, bleh. And then we're like, okay, well, bye. And I was like, oh my God, it happened. Oh my God, I've never had that before in my life. And it was so, in that moment, that's the moment where I was like, I love you. Like I felt like actual, like, okay, you are, like, I love you. Like you're like in family realm for me because of just the vulnerability that I had to be able to be angry or to be able to be snippy, and for you to be that back with me, and for us to not have any awkwardness or upsetness or anything after. It was just so refreshing. Yeah. Because I'm a millennial and we never talked about anything, and that's what it is.
Also,
Yeah.
we are all millennials.
We're all
You're not.
millennials.
Are you?
You're
Riley is
millennial?
too.
Last year.
You're the last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
81 to 96. It's horrible.
It's weird that like
Oh, okay. 81 to 96.
Finley is a Gen Z, and like also Senge is. Do you know? Like it's like that generation. It's like sometimes like, oh my God. Like it's really weird.
Is Lex a Gen Z? Or?
Yeah. Oh. Ian's right on the cusp because he's 2012, so he's right on the cusp of Gen Z and whatever the next one is.
Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha.
Is my child an alpha?
Oh yeah, yours is. Yeah, enjoy that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, hard conversations are important, and I think a lot of people can't have them, and there's your relationship.
Yes, it does.
I think hard conversations need to happen, and if you
only
can't
better-
have them, it doesn't
People are gonna
propel it forward.
We're together all day at work, and
Yeah.
we're together all the time outside of the shop. Like, there's no way that would. There's no way that we will never have issues, never have bad things. So the only way to get through it is to talk about it.
But it also only works because we are all very aware of ourselves. And I know that that's something that like we throw around a lot, like in today's day and age. Oh, you self-awareness. But I mean that quite honestly, because there's people that I've tried to work things out with where I'm like, no, because they're not able, like they're not able to actually see, accept, and digest your perspective, and that's the only way it's going to work.
Yeah.
You have to digest theirs, and they have to digest yours, and then you have to come to an understanding that like acceptance, forgiveness. Yes, I'm going to make you mad again. It's okay that I am. We're all flawed humans, and you really have to work to appreciate that other person's perspective and not just hold your pride to such a level that it's going to be a deterrent to you keeping friendships, because that does happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I was saying, like it's like always either family or a partner.
Yes.
that you feel like you can snap on, that you feel like you can do these things. Because
Yes.
That like other level of relationship where it's like you can be that, but it's like you should also be able to be that with your friends.
Yes.
Stop holding your partners and your families to such a higher standard.
Because then they get the worst of
Being
you.
your authentic self and having those slip ups, because that's when like friendships are held to a lower regard. So that's where the passiveness comes in, not wanting to put the work in, not wanting to blah 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 because friends or whatever. But like friends don't have to be as fucking disposable as
They're not.
Yes.
Friendships are to be absolutely valued.
Yes.
And I think that there's like, I used to have a perspective that I have to have all these friends and all these connections. And it's like, no, you need a few very good people in your life. And the ones that I have, I've never doubted if they have ulterior intentions.
Yes, and that's what it is.
And it's, thinking back on, even friendships in like high school or whatever. And it's like when we were friends and you sat around, you talked about all of our other friends. I don't trust you.
Oh, no, I
I
know.
don't want to be around you.
Oh, no, I know. Oh, no,
Like, that's
yes.
so telling. I've never talked shit with any of you guys,
No.
so I know you're not talking shit about me.
Yes.
You would tell me to my face.
Yes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yes.
like, I don't want to be around people who all they can contribute to a conversation is gossip, talking about old times. And I'm not saying every friendship has to be this like deep, philosophical, we're changing the world conversation. We can just sit in silence then, or we can
Yes.
create or do something or go for a walk.
You can talk about your
but-
own shit. You can talk about your own
Oh,
experiences, right?
absolutely.
Like,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you're
yeah,
gonna talk, I mean,
vent and-
there is a place for venting about people and situations that have hurt, and that's important.
There's
but
a difference.
That's the thing about the thing too, is these people, if they ever got called out on it, they will backpedal.
yes,
They will
yes, they will not accept.
say
Yes,
something about any of you guys when you're not in the room, I will tell you 10 times to your face.
yes.
Or you already have. Usually.
Yeah, you already have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I never want someone to like be looking at me and being like, oh, she just made this comment about one of her friends, blah blah blah. It's like, bitch, I've already talked to them.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
absolutely.
And if- yeah,
that's
the difference.
Thinking about like high school, they could fucking never. And
No.
when they get called on in it, they're just like put their tail between their legs.
Yes.
And they act
or
like
or deny. I didn't do that. They did that. They made me do it. They influenced me. Like fucking. Did you do it? Yes or no? It's not hard. But I think too, like. I totally just forgot what I was gonna say.
No, I
Space for
agree.
people to be angry at you.
Yes.
Be annoyed at you.
Yeah. No one's perfect, that's for sure.
Just own your shit.
And just expect less of people. If your cup, okay, let me explain. Sorry,
I
love.
disagree. Not that we respect the world, but like,
I mean, if you are, what I mean by that is, if you are expecting a friendship, a partner, a parent, to be a reason for you to be happy,
God,
or they have to see me 4 times a month in order
Okay.
for me to feel like our friendship is valid, you know, things like that. Fill up your own cup and expect less of other people. You will be happier in life, you know, like, and there are people like that you do have to expect zero from, which is really unfortunate, but you do have to, and you'll be happier. But there's people who you're like, some people put their loneliness or their trauma or their whatever, you know, expectantly on somebody else, on one of their friends, when it is their burden to carry.
Yeah.
And I feel like that happens a lot in friendships and in partnerships, where a lot of like, I have to check myself a million times a day because I'm like, oh, like Steve's laying on the couch while I'm like cooking dinner. And I'm like, oh no, Steve literally supports our family, drives the kids to their activities, fixes everything in the house. And I need to focus on my own self and you know, not expect his behavior to be the reason why I'm happy.
well, it's that whole concept, and I think that in a way, it's a beautiful saying, kind of cheesy, but like, I haven't found my other half. I'm not whole yet. No, bitch, you show up whole. I'm whole. I am whole.
Yes, you have to be.
contribute to my life.
Yes.
I don't need you. I deeply want you.
Yes.
But that's a difference, because if you're expecting someone else to fill a void that you have,
Yes.
you're never going to be happy, and
Only
you'll
Jesus
realize
can fill it. You can cut that out. Sorry. I'm really on a thing today.
I don't want Jesus filling any of my holes.
That's okay. I will.
You fill my whole baby.
all the holes are filled.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Sometimes you have to fill your own holes too.
hey,
You know,
Katrina's got that covered.
don't expect, and that's another. Sorry, we don't need to get into, but that's true.
yeah, don't.
Looking at me as if you could talk about certain things.
I know.
Control over
Riley, you know what? Poor Riley. And this is why when you were yesterday, Riley is all of our regulate. So when
Oh,
we're
100%.
like, if we're like upset, we're like,
I know with Kat now too. Like we talk.
yes.
I'm like,
we look at Riley so for the just like that. Okay, you can keep going, honey. It's okay. You can talk about that, or you don't have to do. Poor Riley.
I do it in the podcast.
all day long. We're just like.
I'm supposed to be looking at Katrina, talking to Katrina. I'm like, hey, I love you.
I know. We'll go up to Riley and be like, Riley, and then we'll be like,
What?
and Riley's like, what can I fucking do for you today? But we all do it. I'm a lot older than you, and I still do it.
Mom.
wow.
Yeah, poor Riley.
Guys.
Shrooms.
Someone asked me how old someone is when they know that they're gay, and I was like, that is so wrong, and you don't understand why. And I asked them, I'm like, well, how old were you when you knew that you were heterosexual? And then they just looked at me, and I was like, that's the same question.
Yeah.
And I could see their head, like their mind being like, what? Like not realizing that that's literally the same question. It's not one day you're just like, oh, I like the same gender. So it's like, you like what you like and you've always known.
Yes.
It's not like this one hot chick walked by and I was like, I'm gay.
Bingo.
Like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's like that idea of how weird that is to ask someone who's queer. When did you know? When the fuck did you know?
Yeah.
And then just seeing them being like, oh, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think though, unfortunately, a lot of that is societal, right? Because even before you have the capacity to understand your feelings toward, or like your lovey or sexual feelings or whatever towards somebody, society has already read you books, told you that, you have a mom and a dad.
Heteronormative narratives.
Right? So that's what it is. So I think that in that sense, and I'm just playing devil's advocate, in that sense, I think that queer people, in some respects, when they are old enough to understand societal norms and have like societal awareness, that there is a moment where they're like, I'm not like that, so what am I like, right?
Yeah.
And it's sad that that's, and I think that will change through generations, because it's changed so much already through a couple generations of how we view it, right? Even when I was a kid, it was still, you choose to be gay still, right? That was like the way that a lot of people thought about it, which is terrible. And then to think like 20 years later, now we understand that it's not a choice, and there's so much more to that.
We understand.
Yes.
Certain others do not understand.
I'm just like, it's really, I can't even fathom that people, I get ashamed even just of my own, because there was a time where I was like, oh, like I remember my best friend growing up, like her brother is gay, and I remember hearing about it and being like, oh, well, he decided to, because that's just what you think, because that's what society is telling you.
It's what you're taught. Yeah.
It's what you're taught. But yeah, I think that in some cases that queer people, especially with, how do I fit into even just the queer community, because it's not something that is, it's not in the shows that kids watch. It's not in kindergarten. It's not talked about,
Yeah.
And so then you do realize, you notice your difference a lot earlier. It makes me sad a little bit.
There's a little bit more media available now.
There is.
1 minuto.
Good, because I have to pee.
Spitfire questions, go.
Happy Pride.
Yeah, it's almost the end of Pride Month. Is sad.
Pride. Pride cometh before the fall.
Be proud.
Not this pride, though.
Oh, we have
The biblical pride. I'm done.
Are we going to do some promotional stuff right now?
That's a good song.
I was gonna say let's
I
promote
love
our
that
Flash
song
Day,
so
but
much.
the podcast is gonna be out
This is
after.
Flash Day.
Yeah, his
Okay.
Flash Days this weekend.
Well.
So thank you for everyone who came. You're
Yes.
listening to this
and
after.
for everyone who doesn't come, or he didn't come, shame be upon you and your household.
Angie's going to church this Sunday.
Wow.
We should all go.
We're gonna do Bible study.
I know, we should. Imagine I brought... You need to cut some of that shit out, though. I'm sorry. I'm just really
which-
tired.
Which stuff?
Like,
We have.
Wait, no, the plank you can keep, but when I'm like, you need Jesus, I cut that out, because I just don't want people to be like, who is this unhinged fucking...
I'll edit this today so that I can be like, Angie said this.
Okay, yeah.
4 times actually.
I know. Yeah, the plank thing you can keep, though.
Oh, that's funny.
I wish we had more than a minute because I still have so much I wanted to say.
Oh my god, I monopolized everything. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't have enough time.
A whole episode on the things you want to talk about.
I have so much.
What things on next episode, on the next,
Yeah. Booking etiquette, entitlement,
Client issues.
client issues.
Can we do the next podcast right now?
Client
I would love to talk
cancellation.
about that.
We have to work.
Oh yeah.
Changing shop policies, how what we choose to do with our business doesn't fuck off.
Why things aren't tattooable.
Yeah.
That's a really
I
good
have
one.
so much I need to say.
Yeah.
Why the client is wrong episode.
Yeah.
And we go out of business.
Yeah, the industry where the customer is not always right. Love you.
She's like, no.
Goodbye.
I mean,
See you never.
To a point, for sure.
Love it.
Honestly, though, oh, and see, now I'm mad about a whole new topic.